International Tennis Hall of Fame champion Jim Curry. That was an emotional weekend for you, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I actually start tearing just watching it a little bit.
Did you not know you were going to get into that place one day? Was it an upset?
Yeah, it's kind of an upset. You know, it certainly is a great honor, and I mean, by far the highlight of my career in the sport of tennis.
So Charlie, you've done everything in this sport, from being one of its great players to being one of the original politicians with the ATP, and then of course an incredible promoter with Indian Wells. Talk about your transition coming from playing into really the growth of the open era. What was that like to be a part of that transition?
Well, it's you know, I came in a generation which I think was a real special generation of players who, because it was at that time the game was going from an amateur game to a professional game, 1968. And I'm very proud to have been part of that generation, because all of us were prepared to make sacrifices to really make some impact on the game, to really make some changes in the game. And we did. You know, you take things such as the Wimbledon boycott. Think about that for a moment. Players like Stan Smith could not defend his title at Wimbledon. It probably was Ken Rosewall's and Rod Laver's last great chance to win Wimbledon. So there were a lot of really sacrifices made by a lot of players, only because we wanted to make sure that the players did have a voice in the game, in the future of the development of the game. And I was really proud to have been part of that generation.
Could you imagine that tennis would grow to become what it is today? I mean, you're a big piece of that. Your tournament in Palm Springs, one of the real tent poles of tennis in America. But how proud of you of what professional tennis has become, seeing as you're the trailblazer?
Well, first of all, it's grown beyond certainly my expectations. I never dreamed it would ever get this big. And I've been accused of being a big dreamer, but I'm telling you, this tennis has grown to become an enormous sport. And I'm very proud of what's happened in Indian Wells. Had a great staff of people that make me look good all the time. Did a lot of great work from people like Steve Simon and Dee Dee Felich and Ray Moore. And now, under the ownership of Larry Ellison, I mean, Indian Wells is just going to go beyond belief. Larry loves tennis. Everything he does has to be the best, and he can afford to do a lot.
Well, what about this place? All the improvements that are getting made here at the USGA National Tennis Center, including putting a big hat on the Arthur Ashe Stadium, a couple of them. Look at this, talk about vision. What do you think about all this stuff?
Oh, it's incredible. And I am so delighted that they finally, you know, this is a topic they've been talking about for a number of years, and I'm so delighted that the USDA has finally decided, let's just go ahead and make the investment. And it's incredible what's going to, well, first of all, it's incredible what's already happened here. And now it's even going to be even better. And I just can't believe what's going on. You know, I guess what they say about if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
Is very true. Let me tell you, bricks and mortars really tell the story, and certainly this event, all Wimbledon, all events around the world, and it's going to spur on everybody, all the tournaments around the world, to do better.
It's got to be a little bit special for you because Arthur Ashe was your best friend.
It sure is. I mean, you know, the Arthur Ashe Stadium is it's an incredible place, and of course, I couldn't be happier that it's named after my best friend in tennis. And so Arthur was such a special person, not just for tennis, you know, for everything that was going on in the world. And I'm so glad that it's named after him.
Now, there's a beautiful exhibit just down the way here that Arthur's wife, Jeannie, has put on, which I would encourage a lot of people to go check out. We were involved in something really special on Friday night, too. There was a big celebration of the 40 years of the ATP ranking system. Well, how meaningful was that for you? It certainly was incredible for me to be there.
Well, it was. And Jimmy, you know, having you there as one of those #1 players was a great thrill to
He
see.
won her tournament twice.
Well, you know, I always said that he started his career by winning Indian Wells, and it's absolutely true. He spurred him on to won the French
It's amazing.
a few months later. So
this must have been great, huh?
But it was unbelievable to see all those #1 players. I mean, what a collection of great champions and great athletes, and I mean, just to have been there, it was really was fantastic. What a great gathering.
You were one of those bridge guys, Charlie, because not only did you know all those guys in the room, but you knew Jack Kramer well. I mean, you really go back in this game.
Yeah, that's I've had the pleasure of being around some of the great players of all times, and like Kramer and Gonzalez and Segura and certainly Holt and Rosewell and all those guys, and I got to play against some of them, and then I never got to play against Jim, and thank God for that. But
For both of us.
but it was. Tennis has been such a huge part of my life, and it still is. I was born into a tennis family, and I'm going to die as a tennis player.
Well, it sure is nice having you around. Congratulations on your induction this summer. Thanks to both of you. When we come back, even though it's a blustery kind of rain.